Every morning, millions of Americans over 50 start their day the same way, with a cup of coffee, tea, or warm water, believing it's helping them wake up and stay healthy. But here's something almost no one talks about. With just one tiny addition to that morning cup, you could actually reduce joint pain, calm inflammation, and move with the freedom you had decades ago. The problem is, most of us drink to wake up, not to heal. After 50, our joints start to creak, cartilage wears thin, and tiny fires of inflammation begin to burn quietly inside the body. These silent flames, not aging itself, are often the real reason your knees ache, your back stiffens, or your hands feel swollen in the morning. According to the National Institutes of Health, more than 58 million Americans are living with chronic joint pain or inflammation, and most of them are over 50. Nearly 70% rely on daily painkillers, but the relief only lasts a few hours, while the hidden inflammation keeps burning underneath. The good news? Science has now uncovered 4 natural ingredients you can mix right into your morning drink. Ingredients proven to lower inflammation, ease stiffness, and even help rebuild the soft tissue that cushions your joints. These are not exotic or expensive supplements. They're simple, everyday foods you might already have in your kitchen. And you'll be surprised to learn that one of them, the most powerful of all, is something you've probably seen 1,000 times, but never realized it could save your knees. Before we dive in, I'd love to ask you something. How old are you? And do you think this video could help you feel better? Share your answer in the comments. Our team reads every message, and we'll do our best to reply to each one. Thank you for stopping by Senior Health Tips, Healthy Aging. Now, let's get started. Number 4. Curcumin, turmeric. The silent firefighter inside your body. You might already have this powerful anti-inflammatory sitting quietly in your kitchen cabinet. A little jar of golden powder that's been used for thousands of years. I'm talking about turmeric. Bright, earthy, and humble, turmeric has earned its title as nature's anti-inflammatory champion. Let me tell you a story. David, a 68-year-old retired engineer from New York, once loved his morning walks around Central Park. But as the years passed, pain began to creep into his knees. Each step felt heavier. Eventually, he needed a walker just to make it down the block. His doctor prescribed painkillers. They helped, but only for a few hours. Then one day his daughter suggested something simple. "Dad, why not add turmeric to your morning coffee?" He laughed at first. Turmeric? In coffee? But he gave it a try. Every morning, he stirred half a teaspoon of turmeric and a pinch of black pepper into his coffee, sometimes into almond milk, sometimes into warm water with a drop of honey. 6 weeks later, something amazing happened. He realized he hadn't used his walker in days. The swelling had gone down, the stiffness faded, and one crisp morning, he walked all the way around Central Park. No stops, no pain. That's the quiet magic of curcumin, the active compound inside turmeric. Think of it like a firefighter moving through your bloodstream, finding those small, hidden flames of inflammation, and gently putting them out. Science backs it up. In multiple studies, curcumin has been shown to reduce C-reactive protein. That's a key marker of inflammation in your blood, by as much as 52%. A 2021 study in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that curcumin worked just as well as ibuprofen for arthritis pain, but without the harsh side effects, like stomach ulcers or heartburn. And here's why black pepper matters. It contains a compound called piperine, which helps your body absorb curcumin up to 2,000% more effectively. That's why David's mix of turmeric and black pepper made such a big difference. It wasn't just what he added, but how he combined it. So, how can you use it? It's simple. Take half a teaspoon of turmeric, add a tiny pinch of black pepper, and stir it into your morning drink. Coffee, tea, plant-based milk, or even warm water. If you want to make it taste smoother and add extra anti-inflammatory power, drizzle in a bit of manuka honey. It's soothing, slightly sweet, and helps balance the earthy flavor. Turmeric won't just dull your pain, it helps your body heal itself from the inside. It cools the inflammation that's been simmering in your joints for years. But here's the thing. While turmeric helps put out the fire, it can't rebuild what's already been damaged. And that's where our next ingredient comes in. Something that helps restore the cartilage, the cushion that lets your joints move freely again. Because once the fire is out, it's time to rebuild the house that burned. Number 3. Collagen peptides. The building blocks that rebuild your joints. After 50, your body produces less collagen. It's like trying to repair a road without enough asphalt. Collagen makes up nearly 30% of your body's protein. It's the soft, cushiony layer between your joints. The natural shock absorber that lets your knees bend, your back twist, and your shoulders move without pain. But when collagen production slows down, that cushion begins to thin out. Bones start rubbing against each other like two pieces of sandpaper. That's when you feel that deep ache, that grinding sound when you stand up, that stiffness in the morning that takes a few extra minutes to shake off. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 61 from Ohio, and for years she loved gardening. But one summer, she noticed she couldn't go up and down the porch steps without wincing. Her knees felt tight, her ankles sore. "I used to bounce right up," she said, "but now it feels like my legs are made of rust." Her son, a physical therapist, suggested she add hydrolyzed collagen peptides to her morning protein shake. Linda didn't expect much, but she decided to give it a try. Every morning she blended 1 scoop into her almond milk with a few frozen berries. 8 weeks later she called her son in tears. Happy tears. "My knees feel 20 years younger," she said. And when she walked up her porch steps that evening, she didn't even think about her joints. She just walked. There's real science behind her story. A 2022 study published in the Clinical Nutrition Journal found that people who took 10 grams of collagen peptides daily experienced a 40% reduction in knee pain after just 2 months. That's not just feeling a little better. That's the difference between avoiding stairs and running up them. What makes collagen peptides special is how easily your body can absorb them. Hydrolyzed collagen, sometimes called peptides, is already broken down into smaller pieces, so it slips right into your bloodstream and goes exactly where it's needed most: your joints, skin, and connective tissues. And here's a small but powerful tip. Pair your collagen with vitamin C. Vitamin C helps your body use collagen more effectively, almost like flipping the switch that tells your cells, "Hey, start rebuilding." You can get it naturally from an orange, a slice of kiwi, or a squeeze of lemon in your morning drink. So here's what you can do. Add 1 scoop of collagen peptides into your coffee, smoothie, or warm almond milk each morning. Stir until it dissolves. It's tasteless, and your joints will thank you for it. Collagen is like laying new bricks on the worn-down road of your body. It doesn't just patch the cracks. It rebuilds the foundation, giving you flexibility, comfort, and strength to move again. But while collagen rebuilds your joints, something else keeps them moving smoothly, preventing that stiffness from returning. And that's our next ingredient, one that keeps your inner gears running like they did decades ago. Number 2, omega-3 seeds, flaxseed, chia. The natural lubricant for your joints. Your joints don't just hurt because of age. They hurt because they've dried out. Think about it. Every hinge, every gear, needs oil to move smoothly. Your body's the same way. The oil inside your joints comes from healthy fats, especially omega-3s. But here's the problem. After 50, your natural omega-3 levels drop by nearly 40%. That's like driving a car for decades without ever topping up the engine oil. Over time, things start to squeak, grind, and wear down. Your knees ache, your hands feel stiff, and even rolling out of bed becomes a slow, cautious routine. Omega-3s act like your body's built-in anti-inflammatory system. They help calm those overactive enzymes, COX-2 and LOX-5, that trigger swelling and stiffness in your joints. And when inflammation goes down, your body can finally start to heal instead of just cope. Let me tell you about Mark. He's 72, a retired tennis coach from Arizona. For years, he lived on pain pills. One every morning before hitting the courts. One every night just to sleep. "I thought my tennis days were over," he said. "My knees just couldn't take the pounding anymore." Then, at a nutrition workshop, someone mentioned ground flaxseed. Mark was skeptical. How could a seed do what his medication couldn't? But he gave it a shot. He started adding a tablespoon of flaxseed into his morning oatmeal, and sometimes chia seeds into his protein shake. 3 months later, he noticed something remarkable. The swelling in his knees went down. He started playing again, 1 match a week at first. Then 2. And today, he says proudly, "I replaced my pain pills with flaxseed, and I'm back on the court again." Science agrees with him. A 2020 study in Arthritis Research and Therapy found that people who added omega-3 fats to their diets were able to cut down their use of pain medication by 30%. That's not a small change. That's the difference between managing pain and reclaiming freedom. What makes seeds like chia and flax so powerful is how simple they are. They don't just fight inflammation. They feed your joints, keeping them soft, cushioned, and flexible. And they're easy to use. Just 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds a day. Sprinkle it into your smoothie, stir it into your oatmeal, or mix it with warm water. There's just one golden rule. Never boil them. High heat destroys those fragile omega-3 fatty acids. Treat them gently, like you would a fine olive oil. And if you want to go one step further, pair your omega-3 seeds with collagen or turmeric. Together they form a powerhouse trio, reducing inflammation, rebuilding cartilage, and easing every step you take. Because when your joints are well oiled, movement becomes effortless again. You stand up without thinking about your knees. You reach for something on the shelf without that pinch in your shoulder. You move the way you were meant to, freely, comfortably, confidently. But even with all that nutrition, there's one more thing you need to know. If your body can't absorb those nutrients properly, it's like pouring oil into a closed engine. That's where the final ingredient comes in. The one that helps every nutrient flow where it's needed most. Number 1. Lemon, plus ginger. The key to unlocking absorption and natural healing. You can have the best nutrients in the world, turmeric, collagen, omega-3s, but they're useless if your gut is inflamed. It's like pouring premium fuel into a car with a clogged engine. Nothing runs the way it should. That's where this simple golden morning ritual comes in. Warm lemon and ginger water. 2 humble ingredients that work like a reset button for your digestion and inflammation. Let me tell you about Susan. She's 65, a retired teacher from Ohio. Every morning she woke up with stiff, swollen hands. She couldn't even hold her coffee mug without pain. Her doctor said it was just age. But Susan refused to believe that. One day her daughter sent her a short article about gut inflammation and joint pain. It suggested drinking warm lemon and ginger water before breakfast. Susan thought, why not? It's just lemon and ginger. So she started. Every morning, 10 minutes before breakfast, she'd grate a little fresh ginger into a mug, add a slice of lemon, and pour in warm water. Sometimes she'd add half a teaspoon of honey for taste. After 2 weeks, something amazing happened. She woke up one morning and realized, Her hands weren't swollen. She could button her shirt without wincing. She said, "I didn't change anything else, just that little morning drink." And science backs her up. Ginger contains gingerol, a natural compound so powerful it's been compared to anti-inflammatory drugs, but without the side effects. Lemon, on the other hand, helps balance your body's pH and boosts the absorption of nutrients like curcumin from turmeric and collagen peptides from supplements or foods. In fact, a 2023 review from Harvard Health found that people who drank lemon and ginger water daily saw a 25% drop in CRP levels. That's one of the key markers of inflammation in the body. After just 8 weeks. When you drink it warm, not hot, your stomach relaxes. Blood flow to your digestive system increases. Your body starts the day in repair mode, not fight mode. And the beauty is, it's easy, inexpensive, and takes less than 2 minutes to prepare. Here's how you can do it. Warm up about 200 ml of water. Not boiling, just pleasantly warm. Add 1 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger and 1 thin slice of lemon. Optionally, a half teaspoon of honey, especially if you like a gentler flavor. Then sip it slowly on an empty stomach, about 10-15 minutes before breakfast. You'll be surprised how quickly you feel the difference. Lighter, less bloated, more flexible. It's not magic. It's simply giving your body what it's been missing. A calm, clean environment where nutrients can do their job. Because your gut is where healing begins. If you take care of it, every other part of your body, from your joints to your brain, starts working better. And here's the best part. When you combine all 4 of these ingredients we've talked about, lemon ginger, omega-3 seeds, collagen, and turmeric, you're not just making a healthy drink, you're creating something life-changing. A morning ritual that rebuilds your body from the inside out, 1 sip at a time. Now let's bring everything together. The science, the stories, and the simple morning ritual that can truly change the way your joints feel every day. I call it the morning joint healing drink. And the recipe couldn't be easier. Take 1 cup of warm water or plant-based milk. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and just a pinch of black pepper. That little touch makes all the difference, helping your body actually absorb curcumin. Then, add 1 scoop of collagen peptides, your body's building blocks for smoother, stronger joints. Next, 1 tablespoon of flaxseed or chia seed, packed with omega-3s, nature's own joint lubricant. Finally, stir in 1 thin slice of lemon and a teaspoon of fresh grated ginger. Mix it well, and enjoy it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. That's it. But what's happening inside your body after you drink it, that's where the real magic begins. Think of it like a 4-step repair process working from the inside out. First, the lemon and ginger act like a morning key, gently waking up your digestive system, opening the pathways so your body can actually absorb all the good stuff that comes next. Then comes turmeric, the firefighter. It rushes in to cool down those silent flames of inflammation that have been burning in your joints for years. After that, collagen steps in, the builder. It doesn't just ease the pain, it rebuilds the cushion between your bones, restoring that spring in your step you thought you'd lost forever. And finally, omega-3s from flax or chia, the lubricant. They coat your joints like oil on rusty hinges, keeping everything moving smoothly and quietly. Without that morning stiffness. It's a 4-layer healing system. Heal the gut, cool the fire, rebuild the structure, and then keep everything moving like it should. Simple, natural, powerful. Now, imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, pour this golden drink into your favorite mug, and take your first sip. It's warm, comforting. You stretch your legs, and something feels different. No tightness, no stiffness. Just ease, like your joints finally remembered what it feels like to move freely again. That's what this small morning habit can bring back to your life. Not just less pain, but more freedom. Freedom to walk your dog, to garden, to dance a little in your kitchen, without thinking twice about your knees or hips. And it all starts with one simple cup. So tomorrow morning, instead of just reaching for plain coffee, give your body something it can truly thank you for. Because the truth is, healing doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as what you choose to put in your cup. You remember David, right? The retired engineer who used to start his mornings with a handful of pain pills and a quiet sigh? Today, things look a little different. Every morning he walks around the lake near his home. No walker, no pills, just a calm smile and the sound of water rippling beside him. Sometimes he even laughs and says, "I never thought turmeric and chia seeds would do more for me than prescription drugs." And maybe that's the real message here. Healing doesn't always start in a hospital. Sometimes it starts right in your kitchen, with a warm cup in your hands and a choice to take care of yourself naturally. If this video helped you in any way, if it gave you hope, a new idea, or just a reason to believe that your body can heal, leave a simple word in the comments. Yes. That's how I'll know you're still walking this journey toward a stronger, healthier life after 50. Right alongside us. And don't go too far. Because in the next video, we'll talk about a nighttime drink that helps your body recover while you sleep. It's the perfect companion to this morning ritual. And it might just be the missing piece you've been looking for. Remember this. Turning 50 isn't about slowing down. It's about understanding your body more deeply than ever before. You deserve mornings that feel light and free. No stiffness, no pain. Just fresh air, gentle sunshine, and that quiet joy of moving easily again.